Every day we move through multiple layers of existence, guided by our past experiences, beliefs, and emotions. These influences create what we call timelines. In simple terms, timelines are the paths our lives follow based on the choices we make consciously or unconsciously. But here's the catch. Many of us are stuck on timelines that no longer serve us, that keep us repeating patterns and experiences we've outgrown. We find ourselves locked in cycles, unable to break free from the same old story. If you've ever felt stuck in life, like you're unable to move forward no matter how hard you try, you're not alone. This sense of stagnation often stems from being tethered to an old timeline, the past version of ourselves that keeps replaying the same narrative over and over again. It's like being caught in a loop, where every attempt at change feels futile, and every effort to move forward is met with resistance. But what if I told you that you could break free from these old timelines? What if there was a way to transcend the patterns that have been keeping you locked in place for so long? The answer lies in neutrality. Neutrality is the key that can unlock the door to a new reality. A reality where you are no longer controlled by your past, your fears, or your emotional triggers. It's a state of being where you can observe your circumstances without judgment, without attachment, and without being pulled into the energy of the old self. In this video, we'll explore how neutrality isn't just a passive state, but a powerful force that can transform your life. When you learn to adopt a neutral perspective, you begin to exit the old timelines that have kept you stuck. You create space for a new reality to emerge, one that is aligned with your true desires and highest potential. Let's dive in. The struggle of being stuck on old timelines. Before we talk about how neutrality can help you shift, let's first take a closer look at what it means to be stuck on an old timeline. When we talk about timelines, think of them as tracks on a railroad. Each track represents a different version of your life, shaped by the choices you've made, the people you've interacted with, and the beliefs you hold. Now imagine that you've been on one track for so long, you've become blind to the fact that other tracks even exist. You've been moving forward, but your journey feels like it's going in circles. This is what happens when we're caught in old timelines. We may change jobs, relationships, or physical locations, but our internal state, our mindset, our beliefs, our emotional patterns remains the same. These old timelines are often fueled by unresolved emotions, limiting beliefs, and past traumas that continue to influence how we react to life. The old self, shaped by fear, doubt, and attachment to the past, keeps us locked in these cycles. It feels like a never-ending loop of repeating patterns, where no matter what we do, we can't seem to escape. You may have experienced this yourself, feeling like you've done everything to change, only to end up facing the same challenges, the same fears, the same frustrations. It's as if you're stuck in a loop, unable to break free. But here's the good news: you don't have to stay on this track forever. Neutrality offers you a way out. The power of neutrality to break free. Neutrality is the opposite of emotional reactivity. It's not about suppressing your emotions or pretending you don't care. Rather, it's about finding a place of inner peace and detachment, where you no longer react automatically to the circumstances around you. When you enter a state of neutrality, you stop identifying with your old self and the story you've been telling yourself. You create space between you and the situations that once triggered you. This shift in perception allows you to break free from the grip of your past, creating an opportunity for a new reality to emerge. Neutrality allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment or attachment. You stop getting caught up in the drama of your own life. Instead of reacting to life's challenges with fear or frustration, you can approach them from a place of calm, clarity, and inner strength. You no longer feel like a victim of your circumstances. Instead, you become the conscious creator of your life. This is where true transformation begins. By becoming neutral, you align yourself with the present moment, free from the weight of past regrets or future anxieties. And when you align with the present, you open up the possibility of shifting to a completely new timeline, a reality where your desires and dreams are within reach. A new self emerges. The shift to alignment. As you begin to cultivate neutrality, you will notice a shift happening within you. The old self, the version of you that was caught in the past, ruled by fear and limiting beliefs, will begin to fade. In its place, a new version of you will emerge, a self that is aligned with the truth of who you are. This new self is grounded, centered, and connected to the infinite potential that exists in the present moment. When you step into this new version of yourself, you will no longer feel trapped by the constraints of your past. You will find that new opportunities, new perspectives, and new experiences begin to flow into your life effortlessly. This shift isn't about forcing change. It's about allowing the change to happen naturally as you step out of the old timeline and into a more expansive, aligned version of yourself. Conclusion of the introduction. Now that we've set the stage, It's time to explore how neutrality can help you exit the old timelines and step into the life you've always dreamed of. As you move through this process, remember that the shift to neutrality is not about perfection or instant results. It's a gradual, ongoing practice that brings more peace, clarity, and freedom into your life. Are you ready to step out of the loop and into a new reality? Let's explore how neutrality can be the key to unlocking your highest potential and creating the life you deserve. The quantum nature of timelines. At the heart of reality shifting lies the concept of timelines. But what exactly are timelines and how do they impact our lives? From a quantum perspective, timelines represent parallel realities that exist based on the choices we make. Every moment we experience, every thought, emotion, or action we take, shifts us along a certain path. Imagine it as a web of possibilities that continually splits into new directions depending on your decisions, your inner state, and the energy you project into the world. Each moment you live is a point on a vast and infinite spectrum of experiences, an intricate series of what-ifs and could-be's. In essence, timelines are the manifestation of our decisions and beliefs. We constantly create new timelines as we make choices, large or small, that push us in one direction or another. However, most of us are unaware of the power our decisions have on the path we walk. We get caught in the flow of our daily lives, repeating the same actions, thoughts, and habits, all of which reinforce our current timeline. This is why we feel stuck. Our old self keeps us in the same loop, perpetuating a reality that no longer serves us. But here's the key: your current timeline is not fixed. The future isn't set in stone. Every thought you think, every choice you make, can shift you to a different version of your life. This is where the power of neutrality comes into play. How old timelines hold you back. Many of us unconsciously choose to stay on timelines that are familiar, even if they are limiting or painful. Why? Because these timelines are often tied to our identities, our sense of self. The stories we tell ourselves about who we are rooted in our past experiences. These old stories, though they may no longer serve us, feel like a comfortable prison. We identify with them. We become attached to our old self, the one defined by past failures, regrets, and fears. Take a moment and think about it. How often have you found yourself replaying the same thoughts over and over, getting stuck in a loop of self-doubt or worry? Maybe you felt trapped in certain patterns, like attracting the same kind of relationships, facing the same financial struggles, or experiencing the same emotional triggers. These are signs that you're stuck on an old timeline, one that's been defined by past emotions and beliefs. The reason we often stay on these old timelines is that they provide a sense of safety. The known, even if uncomfortable, is easier to navigate than the unknown. Even when the path feels painful, it's predictable. The problem is, this predictable pain keeps us stuck in an endless cycle of repetition, preventing us from moving forward. Neutrality is the key to exiting old timelines. So, how do you step off these old tracks and move to a new one? The answer lies in neutrality. Neutrality is not indifference or detachment in a cold, aloof sense. It is about stepping out of the emotional charge that the old timeline holds over you. It's about finding a space of balance and perspective where you can observe your thoughts, emotions, and life circumstances without getting swept away by them. When you're trapped in an old timeline, you are often reacting emotionally to life. You may be constantly triggered by past memories, or you may feel like you're at the mercy of your circumstances. In these moments, your energy is scattered, and you're constantly being pulled back into the past. This is what we call the chaotic energy of the old self, one that is ruled by emotional reactions, attachments, and the stories of who you once were. Neutrality, on the other hand, is a state of inner stillness. When you enter neutrality, you stop reacting to life and start responding consciously. It's as if you can step back and watch yourself without judgment, acknowledging your thoughts and feelings without being consumed by them. Instead of being a victim of your circumstances, you become an observer. You begin to see that the old timeline is just a story and you can choose to let go of it. Think of it like standing on a bridge looking down at a flowing river. From this vantage point, you can see the flow of the water, but you are not in the water being carried away by its currents. Neutrality allows you to observe the flow of your thoughts, emotions, and reactions without being swept away by them. The shift to neutrality. How to start practicing? You might be wondering, how do I cultivate neutrality in my life? How do I step off the old tracks and shift to a new timeline? The first step is awareness. You need to become conscious of when you're reacting to life based on past triggers. For instance, if you find yourself getting frustrated with a situation, ask yourself, is this frustration coming from my present reality, or is it something from the past? Am I reacting to an old pattern? Once you begin to recognize these moments of emotional reaction, you can begin practicing detachment. Instead of immediately reacting, Take a deep breath and give yourself space to observe your emotions. Notice where the energy is coming from. Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it a story you've been telling yourself for years? By simply observing your feelings without attaching to them, you start to create a gap between you and the emotional trigger. This gap is where neutrality exists. Another practice to foster neutrality is mindfulness. Meditation, mindful breathing, or just taking a few quiet moments each day can help you center yourself in the present moment. When you're fully present, you're not caught in the web of past emotions or future worries. You're simply here now in the stillness of neutrality. Neutrality versus reaction. The key to shifting timelines. Ultimately, neutrality isn't just about calming your mind or controlling your emotions. It's about shifting your energetic state. When you react emotionally to life, you're unconsciously aligning with the frequency of the old timeline. But when you practice neutrality, you step into the energetic vibration of a new, more aligned reality. You stop being controlled by your past and start creating a new future. It's through neutrality that you break free from the limitations of your old self. You step into a higher state of consciousness, one that allows you to make empowered, conscious choices that lead to a new timeline, a timeline aligned with your highest potential. As we journey through life, we experience a constant ebb and flow of challenges, emotions, and circumstances. Our reality is shaped by how we perceive these events and how we react to them. The way we engage with the world, through our thoughts, feelings, and actions, determines the reality we create. This is where neutrality becomes an incredibly powerful tool in shifting realities. Think of neutrality as a bridge between your old, stuck reality and the new, aligned reality that you desire. The old reality is often defined by emotional reactions, limiting beliefs, and subconscious patterns that keep you trapped in a cycle. Neutrality offers you a way to step out of this cycle and observe your life from a higher perspective. When you begin practicing neutrality, you create the space to make conscious choices that align with your highest potential, rather than being governed by unconscious reactions. By shifting into neutrality, you detach from the energetic pull of your old timeline. You stop identifying with the limiting beliefs and emotional triggers that have kept you stuck. As a result, you no longer feel controlled by the past, and you open yourself up to new possibilities. This is the essence of reality shifting, moving from a stuck, reactive state into a more expansive, aligned, and empowered version of yourself. The role of neutrality in releasing limiting beliefs. One of the most profound ways neutrality supports reality shifting is by helping us release limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are the stories we tell ourselves about who we are, what we deserve, and what is possible for us. These beliefs are often deeply ingrained and shaped by past experiences, societal conditioning, or unresolved traumas. When we react emotionally to life, we are often operating from these limiting beliefs. For example, if you have a deep-seated belief that you're not worthy of love, you might find yourself repeatedly attracting unhealthy relationships. Or if you believe that financial success is out of reach, you might experience constant struggles with money. Neutrality helps you dissolve these limiting beliefs by offering you a new perspective. When you practice neutrality, you are able to observe your thoughts and beliefs without judgment or attachment. Instead of reacting emotionally to a situation or reinforcing an old belief, you can simply acknowledge it and allow it to pass. This creates space for new, empowering beliefs to emerge. For instance, instead of reacting to a failure with a belief, "I'm not good enough," neutrality allows you to view the experience objectively. You can ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "What's the opportunity here?" This shift in perception allows you to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, one that is open to learning, evolving, and expanding. By practicing neutrality, you stop reinforcing your old beliefs and begin to reprogram your subconscious mind. As a result, you create new timelines where your beliefs are aligned with your highest self, where you believe in your worth, your potential, and your ability to create the life you desire. Neutrality, the emotional reset. For clarity and empowerment. Neutrality acts as an emotional reset. When we are caught in emotional turmoil, whether it's anger, fear, anxiety, or sadness, we are unable to make clear, empowered decisions. Our emotions cloud our judgment and prevent us from seeing the bigger picture. This emotional chaos is often the result of being stuck on an old timeline, one that is rooted in unresolved emotions and past experiences. When you practice neutrality, you create the emotional clarity needed to make empowered choices. You begin to approach situations with a calm, centered mind, free from the influence of past emotional baggage. For example, let's say you're facing a major decision, like changing careers or moving to a new city. Without neutrality, you might be overwhelmed with fear or anxiety about the unknown. You might second-guess yourself or get caught up in worst-case scenarios. However, when you shift into neutrality, you are able to approach the situation with clarity. You can step back and assess the situation without emotional bias. You can trust your intuition, listen to your inner guidance, and make choices that align with your highest good. Neutrality allows you to tap into a deeper level of wisdom that is not clouded by past emotional triggers or fears. This emotional reset not only helps you make better decisions, but it also empowers you to respond to life's challenges with grace and composure. Instead of reacting to challenges with fear or frustration, you can approach them with a sense of curiosity and trust in your ability to navigate them. This shift in energy creates a ripple effect, bringing more peace, confidence, and clarity into every aspect of your life. The energy of neutrality, aligning with the present moment. One of the most powerful aspects of neutrality is its ability to align you with the present moment. When you are stuck in an old timeline, you are often living in the past, either ruminating on past regrets or trying to avoid past pain. This keeps you energetically disconnected from the present, which is the only place where transformation can occur. Neutrality, on the other hand, brings you back to the now. It helps you release the emotional attachment to the past and stop projecting your fears onto the future. Instead of worrying about what might happen, you begin to fully engage with the present moment. You can feel the peace, the stillness, and the infinite potential that exists right here, right now. This energetic alignment with the present moment is where true transformation happens. When you are aligned with the present, you are open to receiving guidance from your higher self, from the universe, and from the flow of life itself. You stop resisting what is and start embracing the opportunities that exist in the here and now. For example, if you're experiencing financial struggles, you might find yourself constantly worrying about the future or regretting past decisions. But when you shift into neutrality, you can approach your financial situation with clarity and resourcefulness. You can ask yourself, what steps can I take right now to improve my situation? By focusing on the present, you begin to take inspired action that aligns with the reality you want to create, rather than being consumed by fear or guilt about the past. Practical examples: how neutrality can shift your reality. Let's explore a few real-life examples of how neutrality can shift your reality. Relationships. Imagine you're in a relationship that feels stuck or you've experienced heartbreak in the past. Your emotional reactions might keep you trapped in old patterns of fear, jealousy, or insecurity. But when you practice neutrality, you can step back and observe your feelings without judgment. Instead of reacting to old wounds, you can view the relationship from a place of clarity. You can choose to respond with love, understanding, and emotional maturity, which can create the space for healing and growth in the relationship. Career. If you're feeling frustrated or unfulfilled in your job, neutrality allows you to step away from the emotional charge of dissatisfaction. You can ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? Or, what new opportunities can I create for myself? By embracing neutrality, you stop feeling stuck in the cycle of frustration and open yourself up to new career possibilities that align with your passions and purpose. Personal growth. When it comes to personal growth, neutrality allows you to embrace change with an open mind. Instead of resisting transformation or feeling overwhelmed by the process, you can approach it with curiosity and acceptance. You begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than as obstacles to overcome. Neutrality is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice that requires consistent effort and awareness. However, with the right techniques, anyone can begin to cultivate neutrality in their daily life. The key is to integrate practices that help you detach from the emotional charge of past experiences, limiting beliefs, and unconscious patterns. In this section, we will explore several practical techniques that can support you in embodying neutrality and ultimately shifting to a higher, more aligned reality. Mindfulness meditation. The foundation of neutrality. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating neutrality is mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, observing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment or attachment. When you meditate with mindfulness, you allow yourself to observe the flow of your inner world without getting caught up in it. This is a key element of neutrality, the ability to witness without reacting. To begin, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably with your back straight, close your eyes, and bring your attention to your breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold for a moment, and then exhale gently through your mouth. As you focus on your breath, thoughts and feelings will arise. When this happens, simply observe them without judgment. Don't try to push them away or hold on to them. Instead, acknowledge them and let them pass, returning your focus to your breath. Over time, this practice will train your mind to detach from the emotional pull of thoughts, enabling you to approach life's challenges with more calm and clarity. As you cultivate mindfulness, you'll become more aware of the moments when you're slipping into emotional reactions, and you can gently bring yourself back to neutrality. Breathwork. Shifting energy with every inhale and exhale. Breathwork is another powerful practice that can help you shift into neutrality. The breath is a direct link to the nervous system and can have a profound effect on your emotional state. When we're caught in emotional turmoil, our breath tends to become shallow, erratic, or tense. By consciously controlling your breath, you can calm the nervous system and enter a state of neutrality. One effective breathwork technique is the 4-7-8 breath. This involves inhaling for a count of 4, holding the breath for a count of 7, and then exhaling slowly for a count of 8. Repeat this cycle 3 to 4 times, focusing on the smooth rhythm of your breath. As you do this, you'll notice that your body begins to relax and your mind becomes clearer. This simple practice can be done anywhere at any time to bring you back to a place of neutrality. Breathwork is especially helpful when you find yourself in a reactive state. The next time you feel yourself getting triggered by a situation, try taking a few deep breaths and observe how your energy shifts. You'll find that the more you practice, the easier it becomes to detach from the emotional charge and return to a state of calm. Visualization. Creating a neutral space. Visualization is another effective tool for embodying neutrality. The power of visualization lies in its ability to tap into the subconscious mind and create new neural pathways. By visualizing yourself in a state of neutrality, you begin to reprogram your mind to align with this new, calm way of being. To practice visualization, find a quiet space and close your eyes. Imagine yourself standing in the center of a peaceful, serene space. This could be a beach, a forest, or a garden, whatever feels calming to you. As you stand in this space, visualize a bright light surrounding you, creating a protective barrier of calm and neutrality. This light represents your ability to detach from emotional reactions and maintain inner balance. Visualize yourself encountering a situation that typically triggers you, perhaps a conflict with a coworker or a challenging life decision. See yourself responding to this situation from a place of neutrality. You are calm, composed, and centered. You observe the situation without judgment, and you respond with clarity and wisdom, rather than reacting from past wounds. By practicing this visualization regularly, you will train your mind to automatically shift into a neutral state when faced with challenging situations. Emotional awareness. Recognizing triggers and detaching. A key aspect of neutrality is emotional awareness, the ability to recognize when you're being triggered by past experiences or limiting beliefs. We all have emotional triggers, certain situations, people, or thoughts that spark a strong emotional reaction. These triggers often come from unresolved wounds or old timelines that keep us attached to the past. To cultivate neutrality, you need to become aware of these triggers. Start by paying attention to the moments when you feel emotional reactions arising. Ask yourself, what is this reaction telling me? Is it related to the present moment or is it coming from the past? For example, if you find yourself getting angry or defensive in a conversation, take a step back and ask, am I really upset about what was just said, or am I reacting based on an old experience or belief? By identifying the source of your reaction, you create space to detach from it and choose a more neutral response. Over time, you'll notice that the more you recognize your emotional triggers, the less power they have over you. Instead of being swept away by your emotions, you'll be able to pause, reflect, and respond from a place of neutrality. Journaling. Writing to release and shift. Journaling can be an incredibly powerful tool for cultivating neutrality. Writing helps you process your thoughts and emotions, allowing you to gain clarity and distance from them. When you're caught in a reactive state, journaling can provide an outlet for releasing pent-up emotions and refocusing your mind. A great journaling practice for neutrality is to write about your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Start by writing down the situation or trigger that caused you to feel emotional. Then, explore the underlying beliefs or patterns that may be at play. The transformative power of neutrality. A new reality awaits. We've explored how neutrality can become the catalyst for profound personal transformation. From the way we perceive our circumstances to how we respond to challenges, neutrality offers us the ability to create a new, empowered reality, one that is free from the emotional chaos of the past and the fear of the future. At its core, neutrality is not about apathy or disengagement. It is about choosing conscious detachment from the emotional baggage that weighs us down. It is about creating space between ourselves and the situations that once triggered us, so that we can respond from a place of clarity, calm, and intentionality. When you embrace neutrality, you stop reacting to life as a victim and start responding as a conscious creator. This shift in perspective is what makes neutrality such a powerful tool in shifting realities. By practicing neutrality, you align yourself with your highest potential, allowing you to break free from old timelines and step into a reality that reflects your true desires. Your commitment to neutrality. The first step in shifting realities. The journey of shifting from the old self to the new self begins with a commitment to neutrality. This commitment is not a one-time decision. It is a daily practice that requires awareness, mindfulness, and patience. But the rewards are immeasurable. As you continue to practice neutrality, you will notice how your life begins to change. Old patterns of frustration, fear, and limitation will fade, and you will feel more aligned with the present moment, more connected to your inner wisdom, and more empowered to create the reality you desire. You are the architect of your reality. Neutrality gives you the tools to design the life you want, free from the constraints of the past. The key is to let go of the emotional charge that binds you to old beliefs and attachments, and to embrace a new way of being, one that is grounded in peace, clarity, and intentionality. Remember, this isn't about perfection. There will be times when you slip into old habits or react emotionally. That's okay. The beauty of neutrality is that it allows you to reset at any moment. It's a practice of continual growth and self-awareness. Every time you return to neutrality, you are choosing to step closer to the version of yourself that is aligned with your highest potential. A final invitation. Step into your new reality. As you move forward, I invite you to reflect on where you are right now in your journey. What old timelines are you still attached to? What beliefs, emotions, or patterns are holding you back from stepping into your highest potential? Neutrality offers you the freedom to release these attachments and embrace a new reality. The power to shift lies within you. Every thought, every choice, every moment of neutrality brings you one step closer to the life you've always dreamed of. The transformation you seek is already within reach, waiting for you to claim it. So, I ask you, are you ready to step out of the old and into the new? Are you ready to let go of the past and embrace the infinite possibilities of the present moment? Your new reality begins now, and it begins with neutrality.